Hey everybody, this is John the Other, obviously. Now, a few years ago, when I first started listening to Stefan Molyneux, mostly what he talked about was anarchy, which is to say not public mayhem and violence, but the absence of an organized state, an organized government in the lives of private citizens. The removal of government, and how that would be a net positive for the human race. And I still believe that. Now, there's obviously a number of problems with having no government, like how do you maintain public order, who maintains the roads, how do you have a dispute resolution system, such as the courts, that isn't a part of the government. And those are all practical questions that can be answered. I'm not going to bother with them here. Just suffice that human beings are really good at solving problems, and we did it before we had a large government. We'll do it after we have one, after we get rid of that. But I was a listener to Molyneux, and what I really liked about what he was saying was that he discussed anarchy in a way that took people's reactionary fear out of the question, like out of the conversation. Instead of people, when you start to talk about anarchy, going, oh my god, we won't have roads or police or hydroelectric power, oh no, we're doomed! He discussed it in a way that took those fears away, because all those things are just people getting stuff done. You don't need a government to do that. However, although Molyneux still is an anarchist, in name anyway, he mostly now talks about raising children and family, and the importance for raising children of marriage. He's very strongly an advocate of marriage. Now, as soon as I say that, I know there's going to be Molyneux fans that go, he never said he's an advocate of marriage. And that's wordplay. I'm characterizing his argument rather than exactly quoting him. And I'm going to preemptively predict that people are going to demand that I exactly quote him, because unless I get his exact words, then my argument is specious. But that's nonsense. He espouses a view on his videos, which he will say isn't his view, it's just mathematical, it's 2 plus 2 equals 4. No, bullshit. It's Molyneux's videos that espouse these views, therefore it's Molyneux's views. It's really simple to follow that. Never mind the goddamn wordplay where he dodges and evades. Molyneux is an advocate of marriage. He provides evidence that marriage is the best situation for having a family and raising a kid. Well, that's him advocating marriage. But the problem is this: Molyneux still claims to be an anarchist. He still advocates the removal of government, that human societies, that people in general would be better off without what is essentially a mafia running all the public works. But if that's the case, how can he advocate marriage, which is a legal institution of government? I think Molyneux actually calls this a self-detonating statement, a self-detonating position. He's not an advocate of anarchy, and he never was. What he is an advocate of Molynarchy. If you look at his forum, like the Stefan Molyneux Free Domain Radio forums, the people who have the highest social rank in those forums are called philosopher kings. Do you know what they did to get that high social rank? They paid him. What Molyneux actually advocates can be seen in the little mini culture that is his forums, and it's a monarchy with Molyneux at the top. And his advocation of marriage is a de facto advocation of the state, because marriage is a social and legal institution of the state. I'm sorry, Molyneux fans, you're fucked.